I just want to start by saying I'm a really big fan and I'm excited to be chatting with you today.
Thank
Um,
you.
my first question for you today is, have you become accustomed to the massive response to Megan yet? Or is that not something you get used to?
I don't know if it's something I'll get used to, and I don't know if it's something I want to get used to. It is lovely. It's like, you spend years basically working on a feature and you hope, especially in the horror space, that it's gonna find an audience that's gonna appreciate it. And my first major film that came out was like Hellfest was, like a little cult hit, and then Malignant was a slightly bigger cult hit. And so I'm just like, I enjoy cult hits. Like I am a B
Yeah.
movie fan. So I was like, okay, Megan's gonna be a cult hit. And I am happy in that space. And then like it just exploded and was like not only a cult hit, but like a huge success. And so it's just like I am enjoying this I'm enjoying this moment, and I don't think I will ever get used to this. It's like every time it's like the soundtrack just came out on vinyl now, and I'm just like really really excited about like the artwork and all of that and how people are responding. So yeah, I hope 10 years from now I'm still going to be giddy when we're at a convention and there are like people dressed as Megan.
Was there ever a moment like at the grocery store where it really sunk in the scope of the fan response?
Actually, is one of my friends is a director and he was in Atlanta on a show, and he texted me. He's like, "Hey, I've been texting with my daughter, who I think is like 8 years old," and he said she texted me saying that she's with her friends and they're playing Megan. And now
What?
none of these little girls had seen the movie. And he was like, "What is Megan?" And it's like, it's basically a darker version of hide and seek where one of them is Megan and then she has to like catch the others and kill them.
Oh my God.
And so just like the idea that like just off of a trailer, these girls had come up with this game on a character that, I had a hand in creating. It's like I was floored. Like that was really when it hit me. It's like, wow, children are making games to this. Okay.
Whoa. How at all has your life changed since the release of this movie?
A bit busier, I will say.
Okay.
It is what we want as writers. It's like, you want work. I'd rather be here than the opposite. But yeah, it's like it's my days are filled with things like this now, and also just like studios, coming to me with other stuff. And all obviously I've got the Megan sequel that I'm doing now, which is like, oh my God, like I'm part of another franchise that's really really cool.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's like I am enjoying this moment. I do look forward to like a little bit of downtime. Hopefully I can take a vacation at some point. But right now I'm just riding the wave as long as I can.
Well, you brought up the sequel, so my first question there is, do you feel like there's more pressure on your shoulders after the massive success of the first one, or is there less because people already know what you can do?
You want to deliver, so I will say there's like some pressure there, but also we all know, what it took to get the first one, and we're all coming back basically, I believe. And so it's like I know I've got that team by my side, and it's just like you have like all the right people in place. It doesn't feel like that much pressure to bring it again, I will say.
Fans were loving to see the drama between Chucky and Megan online. If there could be a versus film between Megan and any horror villain, who would it be? And would you ever consider Esther from Orphan?
Isn't Esther dead officially? Like,
No one knows.
who knows? Who knows if she actually drowned in that frozen
I
lake?
can't say.
Oh, well, obviously, like Megan versus Chucky is like the big one, and it would be hilarious because I honestly think that like it would take them a while to get to the actual physical fight because they would just be, you know, insulting each other and reading each
Yeah.
other the entire time almost before someone is finally like, oh, I should hit you. But then that would I would watch that battle.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I don't know who else would be good. Maybe Billy from Magic, because Billy, that was the
Whoa.
earliest doll movie that ever like imprinted on me and terrified me. To this day, I can't stand ventriloquist dummies. And I think I would just like to watch Megan just like crush him.
Yeah, that is a bizarre, interesting choice for sure. How far along is the work on The Nun 2, and what has it been like developing that?
The Nun 2 is coming out September 8th of this year, I believe. So they are in post as far as I know.
Oh,
Yeah, like they're hopefully we'll hit that release date. I believe Warner Brothers intends to.
mhm,
And so it was a long process, but it was like super beneficial and educational, and just how like working with IP like that as part of a franchise goes.
mhm.
And it's also like having that experience has helped with M3GAN 2, because that's like another sequel in a major franchise. So it's like it's good that I already had that experience in knowing how to navigate that. But yeah, like I'm really looking forward to people seeing the Nun 2 when it comes out. I think we've got some really good stuff in there.
It's no secret that horror needs more iconic women villains. And now you've had a hand in developing two major ones. Are there any others that you're sort of sitting on? Is there anything else that we can expect?
If I do my job correctly on this next one that I'm writing, which is not related to M3GAN,
Uh-huh.
yes. Yes,
Okay.
I might be adding a third iconic female horror villain.
Is there anything we can know about her? Anything?
No. I don't,
Oh,
yeah, yeah. I don't know what I'm allowed to say, so I'm just gonna err on the side of like
okay.
not saying anything. Hopefully there'll
Okay.
be a press release though, and then like we could have another chat.
I'll get a quote out of this somehow. How much is music a part of your writing process?
It's a huge part of my writing process. Like I can't write without some kind of music, and usually for whatever project I'm doing, I will create a soundtrack, like especially like mood songs that help me with the scenes as I'm writing them. So yeah, it's a huge part.
Is your phone nearby? Could we like take a peek at like one of those soundtracks?
My phone, it
Yeah,
is
just like
nearby.
can we get like a taste of what is on there and what project that is?
So I have one that's just called 80s horror, because I am
Okay.
writing an 80s set horror movie. That's one of my ideas. It's an original
Uh-huh.
from me. So I have No One Lives Forever by Oingo Boingo,
Nice.
Don't Stop
Amazing.
by Sylvester.
Also good. Gay icon.
Uh, One of the songs that I love from the Fright Night soundtrack, Good Man in a Bad Time, Ian Hunter.
Nice. Hot, I think, if I recall.
And then like it gets a little bit more modern. Like one of my all-time favorite horror songs is Cemetery Gates by Pantera.
Okay, sweet. I'm gonna have to embed these in the article. I love that.
uh so yeah, it's I don't even know how many is in here. It's 22 tracks, so it's an hour 44 minutes. So yeah, pretty much length of a movie.
Very cool. So speaking of Sylvester, were you surprised by the gay community's response to M3GAN, or did it make sense?
I was not, because I was given a heads up. Shout out to Sam Wyman, who I was on a
Mm,
horror panel with him at Comic-Con, and while we were in the green room, we were talking, and he's like, "I'd seen a cut of M3GAN," and he loved it. I'm like, "Cool, that's awesome. I'm really happy." And he's like, "She's going to become a gay icon," and I'm like, "Huh?"
uh-huh.
And he's like, "Oh no, she's going to become a gay icon. It's because of like the outfit and the bitchiness." But like early on, I didn't want to say that because I felt like that was an in-group out-group kind of thing to say. So when people were like, what does the gay community love about M3GAN? I was like, well, it's a story of like found family and all that, which is also what Sam told me. He was like, everyone, in our community, we do love the stories of found family. But yeah, it basically came down to, it's like it was a bitchy, fashionably dressed murder doll
Yeah,
killing
it,
people.
it's as
And so
simple
it's
as
like, yeah,
that.
yeah. I was like, I saw on Twitter that like gay people were just like, no, this is what it is. I'm like, I'm happy you're saying it, because I didn't feel like it was my place
Listen,
to
we
just
could
be that
overthink it,
blunt.
but we know the truth. My
Yeah,
last question for you today is if Blumhouse gave you carte blanche to any IP or franchise, and maybe they have, what
they
would
have
you
not.
take? Okay, well, they should. And what would you take on?
Uh, if I was going to do a remake of anything, it would be a remake of Silver Bullet by Stephen King.
Okay, that's a good choice because it's so good, but it could use a bit of a modern touch.
Yes, I think someone is already in the process of rebooting or remaking that, but that would be my choice.
Okay, well, you got to get them kicked off of it. I love that. Okay, well, thank you so much for chatting with me today, and good luck on all of these awesome projects. Hopefully we chat again soon.
Thank you. Same.